The time is now, folks. Hello and welcome. It's Leon Street from businessownerelevation.com, and I've got another great Whiteboard Wednesday training just for you. How you doing, folks? It's been about 2 weeks. I've got some real kick-ass stuff I want to take you through today. It's going to be quick, it's going to be fast-paced, and it's going to be filled with value. And more importantly, it's going to be filled with the kind of value that stops the thing happening that you see on the board right now. You see, what I'm going to cover is why coaches' marketing campaigns often fail and the 3 steps you can take to prevent that. Because a lot of times I'm speaking to coaches day in, day out, week to week, and a lot of the times, even when coaches are at 6 figures, there's challenges, there's problems. It's kind of like they've done really well. Maybe they've hit, a really great quarter, generated 6 figures, and then they get into another quarter and it's just gone south. It's just gone pear-shaped. They don't understand why, like what's going on, what's changed, what's different. And I want to take you through some of the things that you can use. It might even be that maybe you've been bubbling along as a coach at the kind of 50 to 100,000 level, and you're trying to think like, how am I going to make this breakthrough? When's it going to happen for me? And so I want to take you through 3 key steps that you can implement into your business, or even just adjust some of your campaigns that will have an impact now. And quite often, it's the simple stuff that actually give you the breakthroughs, because in reality, marketing should not be complicated. Marketing is about your ability to communicate a value proposition to somebody where they think, that's going to fix my pain, that's going to fix my problem. And actually, I like you, or I like the solution that you're talking about or offering. Therefore, I want to buy it from you. So that's what I'm going to take you through, guys. If you've got any questions as we're going through this, drop a comment below the video. And if you're watching this live, give me a hashtag live. If you're watching this on replay, give me a hashtag replay. Show the love, spread the love, because if you don't, you just stay average. Whereas people who give love, they receive it back. So that's what I want for you. I want you to receive more love, so give it. Anyway, enough of me prattling around. If this is the first time you've watched one of my videos, it's Leon Street from businessownerelevation.com. I'm known as the lead generation coach, and I help coaches, life and business coaches, executive leadership coaches, to generate more leads consistently using our 3-step methodology. So today you're going to learn about some specific steps that you can take with regards to marketing to make sure that your campaigns are generating leads, generating sales, actually generating results, tangible results, not likes, not comments, not shares, the things that actually make a difference to your bank account, so that you can deliver to your highest level to your clients, knowing that you're paid and that there is that exchange of finance, money for the energy, the solutions that you're going to give your clients. So let's get into this, guys. So why coaches' marketing campaigns often fail, and the 3 steps that you can take to prevent that. If you've got any questions or anything that doesn't make sense during this live video demonstration, Adam is behind the cameras and he can check. So if you're on Instagram, hey guys, if you got any comments, Adam will check at some point, I do believe. If you're on Facebook and you got questions, just comment below, and I'm sure at some point Adam will be able to check out any comments. Right, cool. So let's get into this. So the first thing is, I'm going to put this here, it's your target audience. And this one might seem a bit obvious to people. It's kind of like, yeah, that might be a reason why campaigns fail. And I'm going to explain specifically why. So the reason why target audience is such a big thing is that a lot of people, when they do their marketing campaigns, they go out and they're very generic in terms of targeting. Yeah. So there is no specific niche. And if you are from America or Canada, you will know the word as niche. In the rest of the world, it's called a niche. So one of the key things that I find is people are so generic with their target audience. So I'll give you an example. Maybe you've got an executive coach and they say, I can help any type of corporates in any type of industry. Great, imagine that type of campaign. You're going to need millions to target every type of industry and every type of corporate. So what have you got to do? Your target audience must be filtered down into a particular niche, into a particular group. And if you're a coach right now and you're on that kind of 6-figure level or roundabouts, or even if you're on the 7-figure level like some of our clients, it doesn't take a lot of clients for you to actually earn the income that is in your goal, that is in your target. So let me just break that down. So if you were trying to target six figures, you're probably trying to target 10 clients who pay you somewhere in the region combined £8,333 of dollars per month. That gets you to six figures, yeah, plain and simple. Maybe you got 10 clients who pay you £1,000 or dollars per month. That gives you 120,000. So actually, you only need 10 clients. But let's be real about this. You're probably going to have 8 that stay with you, 2 that drop off, and therefore you're going to need a few more to jump on over the course of the year. So you're probably going to end up with something like 12 to 14, maybe even a little bit more over the course of a year if you were charging that for your coaching services. So that's just one example, gets you to six figures. So what does that tell you? So actually, you don't need a lot of people, yeah? So, 6 and 7 figures. So if you don't need a lot of people for 6 and 7 figures, so not a lot, what you've got to do is be very clear on the targeting. So this part here, the niche, yeah. So what are the attributes of your target audience? Now, a lot of people, they fail on this part because they don't dig deep enough. So as an example, let's take you through where you need to be with your targeting. So when it comes to niche, you need to be looking at what are the different attributes, yeah, and there's some obvious ones. You're going to have gender, so are they male, are they female? You're going to have age range, so is it 35 to 45, is it 30 to 60? Just some examples, or is it actually 20 to 30, yeah? So depending on who your target audience are, you're going to really start to dig into some of the attributes. So what are the other things that you can do when you're getting into niche or niche? So there's going to be things like location. So are you targeting a specific country, a specific town, city, or just region? Yeah. So those things will come into it. You'll be looking at what income bracket they're on, so their salary, what turnover their business is doing monthly, yearly, and that's where you start to really dig into some of the attributes of what the niche is all about. But then you'll go a step further. What are their passions? Yeah, what are they passionate about? What are their general interests? So if you know the age range, you know when they were born, well, maybe you know what kind of books, what movies, what music they're likely to either know about or listen to. Yeah, because the whole point of knowing your niche is that you really dig into the person to understand them from a psychological point of view. Just like what are the things, maybe even what are the beliefs that these people have. You could go into different areas, politics, religion. I'm not saying that you have to, but it might help you to really clearly define, who you're targeting. What about their values? Yeah, maybe there's a certain set of values you have as a coach in your life, in your business, that you want your customers to actually have where some of those values align. Yeah. And the thing is, people don't go into their niche to that level. So what does that mean? Well, when your message goes out there, it doesn't really attract real great qualified, prospects for you to close. So you end up with people who become tire kickers and time wasters on the phone when they're booking for your strategy or discovery call. This is a problem. Why is it a problem? Because you ain't got time to waste. It's not about wasting time. Yes, you've got to put the work in, and yes, you're going to come across, people who don't quite align. But actually, if you put the work in and you focused on what is the niche, you're going to get much closer to your marketing campaign not failing, and you're going to get to a place where it's starting to succeed because you're very laser focused. It's the difference between you wanting back surgery and having a neurosurgeon compared to your general practitioner turning up for the operation, not really knowing the specifics of what needs to happen. So when you're that specific, you're going to attract in the type of clients that you want to do business with. So if you want a neurosurgeon, a very specific person to help you if you had a back operation that was needed compared to a GP, that's the difference. And that's what you've got to do with your targeting. So what's number two? Number two is clearly knowing what the problem or pain is of that particular niche. And again, it might sound obvious. It's like, yeah, that makes sense, Leon. Everybody talks about identifying a niche and knowing what problem that they have and then showing them the solution. Yes, in its simplest form, but most people leave it at that. They say, well, I know what the problem is of my audience, but let me just take you a step further. You see, most people say, I know what the problem or the pain is of my audience, never having gone into the real details of what the niche is, never having gone into some of the real specifics. So what I'm going to do is take you through, well, how do you go to another layer, another level of really understanding what's going on with your potential prospects, your target audience, who you want to go after. So what have you got to do? You've got to know what the problem is. So first of all, what's the number one problem? Yeah, as the person sees it. So problem. Then you've got to dig into what are the symptoms. So what are the things that are showing up in their life around the problem? So if you're a business coach, you need to understand what are the symptoms that are likely to show up for your clients, small business owners, or whoever your target audience is. You know, what's going on that is generally spoken about. And when I say symptoms, I like to call this one, this is the known spoken. Right. So you've got to list all these different things down. Why? The more that you understand your niche and therefore target audience, the closer you're going to get when it comes to putting a message together that communicates, that resonates, that actually speaks the same type of language of these people. So once you understand what are the symptoms, what are the things that they are deeply fearful of? And I'll explain a bit more. Deeply fearful. So this is the known unspoken. So let me expand on this. The known unspoken is basically what are the things they wouldn't even want their nearest and dearest to know about them because they're so embarrassed. They're so fearful. What is it that it's like their point of desperation, yet they could not share it with anybody? Yeah. What is it in terms of your target audience? Because if you can get to that level where you've clearly defined the attributes, which is what I mentioned over here, just things like, and apologies if we're picking up noise in the background, guys. I think Adam's going to have to go and close the window. It's a bit warm in the office, but he's going to have to close it. Too much background noise going on today. So age, we spoke about gender, income, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, when you start to relate the target audience to the pain and you're getting into what's their problem, what are the symptoms, what's the deep, fearful points of that pain, what are the things that they really don't want to speak about, yeah? Then you start to get into, and so what makes them angry? Yeah. What keeps them up at night? Yeah. So now you're getting into really identifying this target audience. Now, let's be honest, guys. When you're running a marketing campaign, look, I'm going to call it as I see it. Most people, and I'm going to say most to you as well, unless you're some really successful coach, just bear with me. Most people don't go to this level of understanding their niche. They think they do in their head, but the reality they don't. They put out generic messages. They put out quotes, like success quotes. Yeah, you'll see on their personal profile, on their page. They'll put out videos, and the videos sound good and the delivery is good, but they haven't really gone into who the video is for, and then it's kind of like wide reach, yeah? And then the problem with that is then they're not really attracting in real qualified people because we don't understand their age, the gender, the income, and all of those different attributes of what a niche is really to hold. Now, here's the other thing. So most people, and I'll say this, most people are triggered when it comes to pain rather than passion. Pain moves people far more than passion. You find people are passionate about stuff, but it's pain that actually moves people, yeah? And the reality is that most coaches, they haven't dug deep enough into what are the pain points. So what's the number one problem? What are the symptoms? What's the deep, fearful, unknown spoken? What makes them angry? What keeps them up? So on and so forth. So when you get to this point, can you imagine the type of message that you can put out there? You can create posts, even videos that actually resonate with your target audience in a deep way, that they think, shit, these people really know me. They know me better than I know myself, or actually they know me more than I'm willing to actually tell people and accept. Yeah. And this is really cool. And I'll tell you why it's cool. Because you'll truly come from this place of authenticity. Why authenticity? And you hear this word as a buzzword and it's always kind of bandied around. Why authenticity? When you truly know somebody, what else is there left? Yeah, you can't be any more authentic than this, than knowing your target audience to that level. But the reality, even if you're, pretty successful now, look, I've worked with successful coaches and have successful coaches as clients right now, and a lot of them don't go to this level. Yeah, but you've got to go to this level to really stand out in a crowded marketplace, for people to see you as the go-to authority. And I said to you earlier, look, most of you will be aware of these terms, target audience and what's their number one problem or pain, but how many of you have actually put this into practice to really know your audience? That's the problem. Yeah, and it's not, a problem that nobody's unaware of, but it's a problem that's not acted on, because there is a bit more to this, to go deeper into the layers, what sit behind all of this. And truly, well, how do you now take all of this? We've got a niche, we've got some challenges and problems right here when we're going deeper, but then how do we transfer that into, something that now triggers our audience somewhere? So this leads me on to point 3. Point 3 is choose your media. And if you've ever come across some of the teachings that I've given, some of the trainings, I always talk about getting the message to market to match on the right media. So message, market, media. So your message will come from truly understanding your market. And that's what points 1 and 2 are. Media is the channel. So whether you're watching me on Instagram, whether you're watching me on Facebook right now, whether you're watching me on replay on LinkedIn, that's what media is. It's the channel that you choose to market on. It could be email. It could be offline. You might be a successful coach who has built their business offline. Maybe you do networking meetings. But what use is a networking meeting if you don't clearly understand your niche and you don't clearly understand deep enough what the problems are? So when you communicate, even in an elevator pitch or a social pitch, and you say, hi, my name's Leon, and I help, and I do, blah, 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 but you never identify the actual people that you help, and you never go into enough depth of what the problem is or the challenges that they're facing, that leads to frustration, feeling pissed off, actually, because you put a lot of effort into creating what you believe is going to help you to generate 6, 7 figures, multi 7 figures. And you're like, when is this going to happen? Yeah. And most of the time, it's this. This is the challenge here. Yeah. There is no magic wand, and I'm really not holding anything back here. It's this target audience, problem and pain. Then you can get into, well, maybe on the right media, I can run marketing campaigns. And the kind of marketing campaigns that most of you are aware of is, maybe I want to run Facebook ads. Yeah. Maybe I want to do Google ads, or actually maybe I want to run some stuff on LinkedIn. Yeah, so you can do LinkedIn and all of these platforms. So Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, and I'll put on here Instagram. Whoops, make sure I spell Instagram right. Email. I'm just going to use offline because there's a load of stuff you can do offline, like networking, blah, blah, blah. What else have we got? And I'll put YouTube. That'll be my final one. And because the list does actually go on, guys, there's plenty of different types of media. You can do TV, you can do radio, you can do podcasting. There's many different things. I just want to focus on these. So for me, most of my clients are either life or business coaches, and I actually find them in abundance on LinkedIn. And I also find them on Facebook. But I'm starring LinkedIn. Why am I starring LinkedIn? Because when I've run my tests on Facebook and I've run my tests on LinkedIn, the ones that actually become paying clients, majority come from LinkedIn, which is interesting. Other people will find successes on different platforms. I've had successes on Instagram where people have reached out to me, sent me messages, wanting to find out how I can help them grow their coaching business, and they become clients. The same from Google, searching, people finding us. The same from our email list. So we'll email out, people will respond, booking for calls. Offline, there'll be some scenarios where I'm at networking events or just events that I'm speaking at as a speaker. and then people will either book me to speak or actually want to hire me as their coach. So, you know, the key thing I want to get here though is what you've got to do is actually choose a channel and test it. And when I say test it over 90 days. Don't run a campaign for 2 days, switch it off, say it failed and that didn't work, and that's the end of Facebook ads, yeah, or that's the end of LinkedIn, yeah. Test it over a 90-day period. Really get into putting your message out there to the right target audience and finding out what truly works. A lot of people who are coaches are great at delivering their service, their program, whatever it is that you have, but one thing that they are challenged with is that they don't put enough energy into the marketing, and a lot of people want to outsource it or hand off the responsibility. Look, unless you're already at that million, that 7-figure mark, it's your responsibility, because at that point you probably can afford to have either a marketing director or just even a marketing manager. But up until that point, it is your responsibility, yeah. And especially if you've got that goal of hitting that kind of 7-figure or even into the mid 6 figures, you know, you've got to take ownership and you've got to put this message out there, and this will help you to get beyond failing with these 3 steps: target audience, problem, pain, and media. Guys, have you got any questions? Are there any questions, Adam?
No.
Cool. So if you do have any questions, you're watching this on the replay, let me know, guys, and I will come back to them and answer them personally. Here's the thing: if you want help implementing this and actually taking you through this, what I recommend, guys, is that you click on the link in the comments below this video. So whether you're seeing this on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, just click on the link. Otherwise, you can visit www.bit.ly/talk and then the number 2 and then Leon, talk to Leon. That will get you to my booking page where you can fill in your details and book in a time for us to talk, and I'll help you create a plan to help you grow your coaching business now. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Remember, I do Whiteboard Wednesday trainings every other week, and so make sure you look out for the next one. Hopefully this has been of use to you and value. If you believe that there's anything from this video that you can take forward and implement into your business, I would be interested to see how you're going to use it in a comment below. Guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share it as well with any coach that you believe needs to see this, or even a business owner, because this will help pretty much any business with marketing, but I'm interested in helping coaches specifically. Guys, it's Leon Street from businessownerelevation.com. Thank you for watching.